Well, come on along. I want to show you the garden. Well, I'm really glad that you could make it today. It's been so long since I've seen you, or it seems like it has. So let me take you on a little tour of what I call phase 1 of garden update, and just heading into phase 2, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, but let me take you on a little tour. Well, I'm so excited that this is finally over. The phase 1 of my garden update and garden makeover. So I had purchased quite a bit of lumber from Lowe's was having a sale on lumber. They had packets that they had culled, and I got well, quite a bit of lumber, actually, enough to make about 5 new garden boxes. And those were 2x12s and 2x10s, and that whole bundle was came to only $30, if you could believe it. So I was really happy about that, and had some 2x6s in there so I could build up some old boxes that were a little bit shorter. So let me just start you on a little fast update on what we have going on here. An older bed that was a 2x6, and added another 2x6 on top, and so now it's 12 inches high, and got some really good dirt in there. I had a lot of compost. And so my transplants that I had started, I got in this box, and I've got my romaine lettuce growing, my Malabar spinach, and my kale. If you can see that coming in, it's in the shade, and I have a feeling that I'm going to have to move that kale out to the sun. Made a little boo-boo there, but gosh, who hasn't made boo-boos, huh, in their gardening? After I got the transplants in, I made up a 5-gallon bucket of some compost tea, and it's got some worm casting in there and humic acid. So all I did was take that and put it on my transplants. You can see how dark, well, let me show you. You can see how dark it is, and that's from the humic acid mostly. And it's humic and fulvic acid, and I love this stuff. It's so good for transplants. It really helps the roots to get used to being in going through the whole transplant phase, and it stimulates the roots to grow. So every time I see that they're a little dried out, I put a little bit more of the compost tea and humic acid on them, and I don't know, they're doing really well. The kale is growing. Let me get down here to where the kale is. The kale was small and little 6-hole pots. Anyway, they've grown quite a bit. Let me see by my hand here. They've grown probably 3 times the size they were since I put them in 2 weeks ago. So anyway, let's get going on to the next bed that was already in. It was another 2x6 that got put up to 12 inches. And it has some old peppers that are still hanging on, still producing, so I'm going to leave them there until they stop producing, and either pull them out or maybe cut them back and try and overwinter them in the house, in the greenhouse have inside. It's really nice and warm in there. And the third box I had is another 2x6. Nope, made a mistake. It's a new box. It's a 2x10, made out of 2x10s, and these are all 4x8 boxes, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted them 4x8. Garden box number 4, it's 4x8 and 12 inches high, and a little 2x8 bed, 12 inches high, another 2x8 bed, and we'll just come on out a little bit, another 4x8 bed, 12 inches high, and the very last bed that has absolutely nothing in it. another 4x8 and 10 inches high. Anyway, little technical stuff there for you if you needed to know that. But let me step back and give you a good look at that. Is my new and main gardening area. And just to let you know, over here, over in this area, we had a large compost pile, and over, well, where my shadow is, let's see, over here we had a huge tree. It was a silk tree, mimosa, and what a dirty tree that was. Anyway, it was growing into the septic line, and it had to come out, so it gave me a lot more room out here in the garden to put boxes or whatever I wanted to do. And the compost pile was moved over in this direction. I don't feel like I can get back far enough. It's mostly, wood chips, dirt, cleanings from the chicken pen, grass clippings, leaves, just a variety of things, and it's working pretty well. Over to the side of the compost pile is the chicken pen. Used to be a wooden structure, but just realized that getting something a little more stable, this 10x10 dog run was going to work a whole lot better. And the hutch is just right inside, so all I have to do is open the door, flip up the lid. Let's see what's going on in here. So open the door, flip up the lid, and yeah, I see you've laid me some eggs. Thank you. Got the polka dot twins down there. Yeah. Everybody's happy. They're just excited about laying eggs, so I'll leave them alone for right now. Oh, let me just take you on a little tour of the rest of the place while I've got you here. So glad you came over today. Let's have a little garden bed here in front of the chickens that a few of the grandkids had put together a couple years back. And so one of my grandsons, when he was 8, he was out here and he designed this little garden, and we planted a lot of different flowers, and you can see all the different bird baths that are in there. And every once in a while I'll pick up something something fun for them to come into the garden and find when they come over. So if you see right there, there's a little group of frogs. They want to come out to the garden to see what's new or what they can find, and that's exciting. Anyway, I'll come back over to the very end of the garden, and this is just an area that's about, I'd say 25 or 30, probably about 30 by 30 feet square, and it's covered with wood chips. It's got a couple of tomatoes left growing, and they're both Cherokee purple. And this one's a fairly good size. It's still growing and flowering, but since the weather has changed, the flowers are just they're not setting. So over here is the other Cherokee purple that is just growing. It just grew massively across the ground, and that's just one tomato plant. It was a little over 12 feet by about 11 feet in diameter, so I really am a little leery to pull it up and get rid of it, even though the flowers aren't setting fruit right now with the cold nights. I just hate to pull it out. It's so big. Anyway, I'm anxious to see what the root system looks like on that. And anyway, that's just about the end of the garden area, except for we did have, like I said, a little septic issue in back up in this area by the grapestick fence here. And so an old garden bed made out of cinder blocks was shortened by about just 2 or 3 feet, but it is one of my best producing garden beds. It's had a lot of amendments over the years, and that could be one of the biggest reasons. It's been covered with wood chips for the last 9 months or so, and you can tell that, well, they're starting to really break down, and I'm back down to, well, almost just bare ground. Anyway, that is my garden tour for today. So that's the garden tour for today. I am so glad that you guys were able to make it today. It seems like it's been a long time since you were here, and I've been busy working on the garden, and I'm going to continue to be busy. So I'm going to get with it and get back to work putting in transplants. I'm going to plant a little tree and make some hoop houses for at least 2 or 3 of my garden beds. So I plan on bringing you back when I'm making the hoop houses, and you can help me or just watch. And I'll show you my design that I came up with for the hoop houses. So thanks again for coming by. I really appreciate it. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. And other than that, I'm going to get back to work. So see you guys later. Bye-bye. Inside. See you guys.